It's the Grand National Scratch Event 1, the second night of the Australian Winfield Masters. Looking good for a start this time. It's car number 18, Tony Parkinson, that leads them away, but it's the 24 car that gets right around outside of him of Kerry McCarthy. It's McCarthy from South Australia, leads them away down the back chute into turn number 3. The Grand Nationals really strutting their stuff as they come around the first time past the judge. Second place, Parkinson, the ex-circuit racer. In third place, car 47, Stevie Stewart. And behind him in car number 95 is Gary Reuter. McCarthy untroubled, about 6 car lengths in the lead at the moment as he comes around to greet the judge with 6 laps remaining on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. Round past the 5AA good radio sign, and he sets sail down the back chute. Kerry McCarthy gets the big projectile set sideways, washes a little as he comes off turn number 4, and he's high track as he goes down the main straight and slips it into turn number 1. Parkinson crossed up beautifully there on the screen in car number 18, is still holding position number 2. The ex-circuit racer doing it well, looking for that mid-track drive line, and has pulled about 2 car lengths back on the speeding McCarthy in position 1. It's McCarthy down the back chute in car 24 as we see car 95 in 4th position at the moment. This immaculately presented car of Gary Reuter go into turn 3. The leader again, this time with 3 laps remaining. Kerry McCarthy around underneath the Yellow Pages sign, down past the Hoffman Sports Dry Cleaning into turn number 3. The second place getter trying everything to reel in McCarthy, this time with 2 laps remaining as he passes the judge. There's the field. You can see them strung out about 8 or 10 car lengths between them all, and it doesn't look like placings are going to change. The crowd there on tenterhooks because they've seen one big night of racing. This will be the second great night for the Winfield Masters. The leader with 1 lap to go. 3/4 of a lap now. McCarthy's going to be a flag-to-flag victory for the South Australian driver. Kerry McCarthy, superb piece of driving around turn 3 and 4. Here's the checkered flag from Jeff Ogden, the first race of the night here tonight at Winfield Speedway Park to Kerry McCarthy. In second place, just Tony Parkinson as Stevie Stewart tried to get up and claim him on the last corner, and Gary Reuter in car 95 third. Event number 2, the Super Sedan Scratch Race, heat number 1. John Forrest is going out of position number 1 in car number 76, and right beside him is the one and only Roger Flatman in car 57. But Flatman having a little trouble earlier. We'll see what happens as they come around. 12 big laps of racing up on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. This is a great night of racing. Conditions perfect here at Winfield Speedway Park as the green flag goes down to send them on their way. And it's Flatman in car 57 that gets around the outside. He takes it right away by about 3 car lengths down the back chute. We've got cars in trouble. Car 11 already being passed. They're having difficulty on the low line. Have a look at the field coming through very, very closely out the side of them. Out beside them all, there is car number 87 trying to get through, and he's giving him plenty. That's Robbie Marchand, the veteran here from South Australia. The leader, he's cleared out, but he's about to be met by Kim Cottrell. Cottrell running the low line in the very prettily prepared car number 63 there as they go back into turn 1. This could be the race between the first 3 cars. We pick up the second place getter coming very cleanly off turn number 2, and he puts the pedal to the metal down the back straight. You'll see the rest of the field strung out there. They're starting to settle down, this time with 10 rotations of Speedway Park. 9 as they go past the start-finish line. The leader setting place. Car 23 also trying to get through the back of the field as we pick up the rear man there in car 46, and he is almost being lapped by the leaders. Goodness gracious, we've got cars everywhere over the 1-2 turn now as Cottrell takes the lead. Car 63 now in the lead. He goes around turn number 2. It's now Flatman, it's Nucky's turn to try and get back at the field, and also Flatman to try and get at Cottrell. Cottrell coming past here, he's putting on the pace now as they go under the 5AA sign and set sail round turn 2. The rest of the field on the screen now. Oh, thanks very much, car 78. That's Trevor Nucky. He's been sent to the infield, but quite okay, and will rejoin the race in the XD Falcon. The leader Coming on turn number 1 now, going through the traffic. Kim Cottrell's the guy's name. Car number 63 on your screen at the moment. Down past the Winfield sign, he goes in the back straight, sets up for turn number 3. He's running the low line here, doesn't appear to be doing it real hard, but as you can see, he's pulled out about an 8 to 10 length lead on the second place getter. That's car number 57, who started off position 2, Roger Flatman. Flatman about to be challenged by the 87 car of Robbie Marchant. The Dry Creek Wreckers Corvette coming right up behind the pole man as they go around turn 3-4. The leader still passing traffic. He's looking good. Here's the challenge and here's the go. Marchant underneath. He's in second place by half a length. He accelerates the big Corvette down into position number 2 on turn number 3. Flatman will try everything he can now to get back at him. The crowd there sitting, the Coca-Cola scoreboard showing 3 laps up there. 3 laps remaining. In fact, it's going to be 2.5 as Cottrell comes around past the start-finish line. Cottrell doing a marvellous job through traffic, an all-important task. It's easy to get out in front, but this is where the real drivers are shown. Car 11 trying to rejoin the field. We'll pick the leader up. He comes around. He's doing it superb on mid-track. It's Cottrell looking super quick as he comes around with 1 lap to go. Cottrell past the Yellow Pages sign on corner number 2. He goes down the back chute, cautiously through turn number 3. The checkered flag being prepared, and it's going to be Kim Cottrell's race. It's Cottrell to take the checkered in the first Super Sedan race here tonight at Winfield Speedway Park. Second place at a great drive too to Robbie Marchant in car number 87. And third place should be going to the man who took it off position number 2, and that's car 57, Roger Flatman. Well, to use the term, I'm waiting with bated breath to see the outcome of this race because it's very, very important to each and every one of these drivers for their positions in the final of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. This is heat number 7, and off the pole is New South Wales car number 11, Barry Lewis. So we're waiting for Lewis to form up at the moment. On your screen is the American Randy Kinser in the JPS car number 2. Kinser, of course, part of the Kinser family that are touring Australia through the 85-86 Speedway season, and we'll be certainly interested to see how he can put it down on this, the second night of racing of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. Excitement getting the tongue a little twisted. Lewis picking up the pole. Car 78 outside of him, also from New South Wales, the Central District Smash Repair car of Bob Blacklaw, former New South Wales champion 3 times. And we're looking for a great start here. Kinser holding the record at 2:45. There's 12 laps of racing up on the board, and we're looking for a start this time. Around they come. Jeff Hogman leads in the air, and it's Blacklaw in car 78 that leads them away. It's Blacklaw clearing out a little bit there. Agar's trying to go with him. Car 3 from South Australia, but right up beside him is Randy Kinser as Farr and Lewis come together further back in the field. On your screen at the moment, we've got Ian Lewis from Victoria also trying to get through the field in the brand new Peter Hoare-owned OTR car. The leaders coming around turn 3-4. It's still Bob Blacklaw. He knows Kinser's behind him by now, and he's got the pedal to the metal as he goes off turn number 2. The times will fall again tonight. As I said, 2:45 is the record held by the man running second at the moment, Randy Kinser from the US of A. Blacklaw gets up high. This might be all the American needs. Blacklaw coming back at him. The two of them side by side, but it's Kinser first into turn number 3. The American, mid-track, slams the hammer down on the Carl Kinser prepared car as he goes into turn 1. Jeff Harris, the South Australian, running in 4th position. Between him and CK Cars. There's Lewis from Victoria. He's up into position number 5. Leader now with 7 laps remaining on the Coca-Cola board. It's still this man on your screen, car number 2, Randy Kinser from the USA. Look at the length he's got between the second place getter. Blacklaw slipping back in car 78. A good close shot as they come off turn number 4 and into the main straight. Around about 83 miles per hour, can you believe it, on this 430 metre course. Tom Tomlinson in the Pizza Hut Channel 10 car as he goes around turn 1. Lewis in trouble. That's Lewis from New South Wales in car number 11 because he's being lapped by the leader. There's 5 laps remaining. 4.5. 4.25. Now 3 laps. Goodness gracious me, how good is this American? He's out here determined, after being beaten by George Tatnall in last night's final, to really strut his stuff and prove a point here at Winfield Speedway Park. Under Tom Tomlinson. Tomlinson tries to go with him in the Pizza Hut Channel 10 car. Down the back straight. There's not much left in this race, and certainly this American is showing his professionalism. Race sharp, straight out of a race car in America just 2 short weeks ago. The field coming through. Blacklaw still in second place. He and Sam's trying to put pressure on him from this state. Here's the white flag with the American. We've got a problem down on turn 1. We've got a spin. Captured there, it looks like it could be Alan Gates in car 5 from South Australia. Fortunately, and goodness gracious me, it must have been a moment of panic. He spun completely in the length of his own vehicle coming off turn number 1. Now I'm told we're going back to 3 laps. We'll just have to wait for the stewards to rectify this problem and see if in fact they will declare the event or in fact will they run it off, because points are just so important. Capacity crowd here on your screen as we wait for the Highlander Crash Repairs car to push away. A moment of terror for Alan Gates. Started off position number 8. And may have had a little touch with another car. We'll have to wait for the replay on that, but he's being restarted and it will be from the rear of the field, I would imagine. Leader on the screen at the moment. 3 laps still remaining up on the Coca-Cola scoreboard, and there's Kinzer in those JPS black and gold colours bearing number 2. As I said, part of the Kinzer Troop touring Australian Speedways for season 1985-86. Bob Blacklaw still holding second place. Car 78 from New South Wales. Car 3 from South Australia, Zeke Agars in third. Car 2 from the same state in Jeff Harris in fourth. Behind him, Ian Lewis in the Hoare Brothers OTR in position number 5. That's car 18 from Victoria. The big man from Sydney, car 3, Dennis Farr in the Bradshaw car, will be off position number 6. Behind him, car 37 from Victoria, David Anderson. Barry Lewis behind him in car 11, followed by Chaz Calounder in 3, Tommy Tomlinson in 10, who seems to be moving down the field there, perhaps to take up a lower position. I would imagine Lewis is further back in the field, still having engine problems with that car. 2 laps remaining is the word. We're going to have to change our scoreboard there. It's up now. 2 laps remaining as they go around the 5AA good radio sign. And Bob Blacklaw, what would be going through his mind? Where did he go wrong? Has he dialed out of this event a little bit? Or is the American just too fast in this particular event? There'll be spanners a twirling between these races, because half a turn of a spanner in speedway racing can be hero or zero. Racing, 2 laps to do it in. Kinzer, a brilliant start. Goes around turn 1, 2. Down the back chute he goes. Blacklaw can't go with him. Agars stepping back about 4 car lengths from the second place getter. Jeff Ogden displaying the white flag as they go around again. The leader doing it in fine style. Have a look at this. Poetry in motion as he goes down the back chute into turn number 3. It's the American's race and he's done it well. Randy Kinzer with the checkered flag and the win. In second place, car 78 from New South Wales, Bob Blacklaw. In third place, South Australia's Ian Sams. Fourth place, Victorian Ian Lewis up in that position in car 18, and behind him, car number 2 from South Australia, Jeff Harris. Well, the action's thick and fast. This is heat number 8, event number 4, the second run of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters, as we wait for Graham Burke in car number 4 from Vista, South Australia, to take up the pole position. McCallum should be right beside him in car number 60 from Victoria, but it seems to me that Sid Moore's out there in car number 95. Now we'll have to sort this one out. Just receiving some messages up here. Yes, in fact, Moore will take the pole and Burke will run further back in the field. And it's It's position 9 that he'll be going off in. So it's bad luck for Graham Burke. He's back there in 9. So Sidmore off the pole. He'll really enjoy that. New South Wales 95. And outside of him will be Victoria car 60. Kev McCallum from Geelong in Victoria. Another 12 big laps of racing, and we're looking for a lap record to beat. 2 minutes 45 for 12 rotations of Winfield Speedway Park. This is Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters, and they're definitely not getting a start with that one. Gary Rush, like a slingshot, straight through the field. And obviously the Chief Steward, Gary Winterbottom, the Secretary of the Sprint Car Council of Australia, saw it all happening behind the play and said, look, come on, fellas, let's do it again. Few viewers at home, you may not be able to see it on your screen, but down on turn number 4 into the main straight, there is a white line. And if the cars don't come around in orderly fashion like you've just seen on your screen, then the starter turns his back, raises the yellow flag, and they've got to do it again. Now, if there is a perpetrator continually of this point, and we're just picking the white line up on the screen at the moment, there it is. Now, that's in the entrance to the main straightaway, and that's where they've got to come to in an orderly fashion. As I say, if there is a perpetrator continually, and I think he's about to have the finger pointed at him, he may be sent to rear of field. We have a car with a problem, it could be. Kev McCallum. Oh, that's rotten luck. It looks like he's got a near side front tyre flat. Near side front flat tyre. No, that's not the problem. Or it's a loose wing. Now you can see the wing bouncing as it goes across the centre field there. That's car 60 from Victoria going off position number 2. Well, it makes it an easier job for the man right behind him. And that, of course, is Johnny Moyle. And let's see that driver, but have a look at Rush coming through the field after a big crash last night, having this particular car rebuilt from the roll cage forward. He's really strutting his stuff. He's up beside Sidmore. The two New South Walesmen battling it out. Rush going for the high line. The former 6 times national champion really getting a slingshot off turn 2 as they go down into 3. The leader, South Australia's John Moyle, doing it in fine style also. He's running mid-track. We've got cars everywhere at the moment. Oh, Sidmore, we've caught it. Going around turn 1-2. He got all out of control. He's gone up on the high line. You've seen it right on your screen there. And he's absolutely torn the aerofoil wing clean off the motor car. But let me tell you, don't think that'll get the guy down. He'll be back. And let's hope that's all the problem is, because also the offside front of the car took a very hefty jolt, and he may have in fact broken a shock absorber stop, maybe a torsion bar, but we're going to have to wait and see. The car is a American Tognoddy, and Sid, of course, is the Australian agent, I'm thinking, for this particular brand of car. A veteran of many, many years, come up from the modified days, run such famous cars in New South Wales as Old 96, and he's been there, done that, and he'll do it again. 10 laps remaining up on the 10 laps remaining up on the scoreboard there, and we'll be interesting to see how the field shapes up. It should be Rush off 2. We're looking for a restart. It's Johnny Moyle from South Australia to lead him away. Moyle into 1, but have a look at Rush. He's got his measure. He's right beside him. We're going to stick with him down the back chute. It's Rush into turn number 3. This brilliant former national champion, what a mammoth effort. Complete rebuild from the roll cage forward, and I mean literally cutting the chassis off and having to rebuild it. The part being flown down from Sydney overnight, and Johnny Barrett and Rush's crew 10 big points because the car's looking good. 8 laps remaining for the former national champion as he sets sail. Car 77, Martin Lawton. A tragic story also for him. Rolled his race car and rig on the way over from Perth, Western Australia. And Bonds Bradford stepping out of the drive tonight to allow his fellow compatriot to take the drive. Rush, about 1/3 of a lap in front of Martin Lawton, who settled down very quickly after his harrowing experience. And this, incidentally, is Sidmore's spare car. In 3rd place, Moyle. Behind him, car 54, another former national champion, Bob Tunks from New South Wales. Rush through traffic like a knife through butter. He goes around 3. Poetry in motion as he sets sail, this time with 5 rotations of Winfield Speedway Park. Rush down the back chute. This is well worth watching, believe you me, as the minor place getters. There's Bob Tunks in 4th place, trying to make it on 3rd place getter. And he at the moment is South Australia's own John Moore. There's a second place getter, Martin Lloyd. He's going down the back chute. Moyle now, fending off a challenge from Bob Tunk's car, 54 from New South Wales, as we pick up the leader going on turn 2. Gary rushes his name and victory's in sight for him, this time with 2 rotations at Winfield Speedway Park. The Winfield's 25, car number 2, the guy who was very unlucky not to make it 5 in a row, to make it his 7th national championship at Claremont Speedway Perth this year, has now got the white flag and he's set on victory. It could be a record time. We're looking for him. 13.55 is the unofficial. We're looking for a record for this man. It's Rush around the top end there. Here's Gary Russian, victory. Car number 2 from New South Wales takes out the 8th heat of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters in second place. Car number 77 from Perth, Western Australia, Martin Lloyden. Behind him, Johnny Moyle in car number 69 and car 54 from New South Wales, Bob Tunks. Records falling, and you've got to believe that. This is event number 5, heat number 9 of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. If you wonder why I'm slurring my words, Gary Rush in the previous heat took the record down, held by Randy Kinzer from the USA, from 2 minutes 45 for 12 laps to 2 minutes 15. So Australia fair, and that's Advanced Australia fair, I should say. And this is heat number 9 of the Winfield Australian Masters. And Nipper Lacey from Victoria in car 16 tries to do a clear out. Try to go with him is South Australia's own Billy Burrows. And now we've got the field bunching up. George Tatnall, the winner of last night's feature races, trying to go with them. As we see Lacey go flying past us into turn number 1. Nipper Lacey and the Lacey's Bodywork Beretta car from Victoria is doing it really well, as we see George Tatnall, last night's winner, trying to bang a few wheels there with car number 5, also from Victoria, South Australian champion Max Dumsney. It's Tatnall and Dumsney and Cameron's in there too. They're all having a bit of a dozy-do round turn 1. It's very close stuff. Tatnall also in a Beretta frame car. As he goes down the back straight, we pick up the leader once again. It's car 16, Nipper Lacey. He goes around the bottom man. Billy Burrows holding second place. He's up there underneath the Winfield sign. In between them, though, is Gil Cameron. I should have called that Lacey, Cameron and Burrows. The car I was getting confused with was Dave Farrell, who's on the infield in car 16. He was further back, but it's Cameron who's at the moment leading his fellow compatriot Burrows, this time with 7 laps remaining on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. Here's a go as Burrows goes down diving low. It's going to be a battle to the line for these two. Lacey's cleared out. He's coming past me now as the second place getter, still Gil Cameron, is really strutting his stuff in super quick time. Under the 5AA good radio sign, round past the Repco Auto sign, and down the back straight. But it's Cameron that does a clear out on Burrows. We've got about 4 car lengths between the two as we pick up the leader going round the back straight. Nipper Lacey looking good once more. Is it going to be another record? Have a look at Cameron's wing. We've got a problem. Sorry, it's Lewis. We have a problem with Lewis. Car 5. The wing is physically disintegrating under the problem of aerodynamic forces. Lewis going into turn 1 now. We've still got a problem with him. We'll try and pick him up as we've got Aylesbury way back in the field in car number 8. Lewis with a floppy wing coming around behind us. He's behind Aylesbury. Lewis there. Have a look at this wing. What is going to happen? Lacey's going past. He's got 2 laps remaining. Cameron still holding second place. Barrow's trying to get to him through traffic. Lewis trying to hang on. Trying to control the Hall Brothers car. The wing physically disintegrating under G-forces, but the wily little Victorian champion trying to hang on. There's Lewis. Here's Barrows. Goodness gracious, what's this stuff? He's trying everything to get a Gil Cameron. We've got Lewis trying to hang on. We've got all sorts of things happening. Here's traffic. Here's Tatnall. What more do you need but the wind going to Nipper Lacey? He's taken the checkered flag. It could be another record time. We've got Cameron across the line. Here's Billy Burrows in third. Lewis hangs on to take about 6th position. Goodness gracious me, I am speechless. Australian Sprint Car Masters night, and this is the Grand Nationals out for event number 6, 8 laps of racing, and to lead them away and doing a magnificent job at the moment is that magnificently presented car number 95, and boy, he's looking good at the moment, but for how long? Gary Reuter is the racer's name as he goes off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Kerry McCarthy, who won the previous race, is having all sorts of problems back into 4, but coming to give Gary Reuter a challenge is car number 6. Stevie Miller's the racer's name, and this one in the Diet Coke car as he comes off 2 down the back straight. It's Reuter and Miller trying to find it out, and car number 11, Kenny Logue from Victoria, in 3rd place. Behind him, McCarthy, followed by the car 18 of Tony Parkinson, and last but certainly not least is car number 47. But here's a challenge coming up now for 3rd position, and it's McCarthy trying to put some pressure on the Victorian Logue. Here's the challenge now, McCarthy sideways, a little touch there as they come the main straight, and Kerry McCarthy now goes into 3rd position. McCarthy around turn 1-2, holding that position. Logue in trouble and on the high line and possibly out of the event. Kenny Logue in all sorts of bother in car number 11, heading for the infield, and puts the Victorian out. Back to our leader on your screen at the moment, car number 95. Gary Reuter going around there into turn 2 down the back straight, and he's about to be challenged by Kerry McCarthy. Further back in the field, we're looking for the minors, and there's going to be a change in the lead. Car 6 now skyrockets away. That's the car of not Len Jeffries, but Stevie Miller. The Aspro Prick Diet Coke car is really getting his stuff down on the ground, and traction's what it's all about in this type of racing. It's Miller as he goes around the bottom 10. Turn 1-2, about 8 or 10 car lengths. McCarthy trying to get into 2nd place from Reuter, and looks like he's going to do it diving into 3. Kerry McCarthy is going to take the 2nd place because Miller's got the flag in car 6. McCarthy through 2nd in car 24. Car 95, Gary Reuter in 3rd place. The ex-road racing man, a nice guy, Tony Parkinson in 4th place. And last but not least, in car number 47, is none other than Stevie Stewart. Just got one ear on or something. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share a very historic moment with me. At the moment, I'd like to share it with you. And on your screen at the moment is car number 3 from New South Wales, Dennis Farr's car. Wrong in the driver's seat is none other than Formula 1 International Derek Warwick from the Renault team. And he's going to do a couple of circulations of Speedway Park, and we're going to see how a Formula 1 guy can adapt to the wild world of sprint car racing. Let's see what he can do. Never set his toe on a car in his life. He's going to have a play, and I don't care whether he goes around 2 miles an hour or 200, but boy, the guy's out there having a play already, and he looks like he is having an absolute ball. Now, bearing in mind, to see a sprint car rotate around Winfield Speedway Park, he looks like he's idling, but believe me, having driven a pace car or 2 in my time, this guy's probably doing 50 miles an hour, if you want it in the old stuff. He's probably doing around about 100 kilometres or somewhere thereabouts. And this guy will get it down because he is a professional. And have a look at this. I remember once upon a time that Jim Clark, God bless him, many years ago, come out to the Calder Motor Raceway, got in a totally foreign sedan car, and with every lap he got faster, and that's exactly what this pro racer is doing at the moment. Once again, I present you Derek Warwick, Renault team driver, and of course international star on the Formula 1 circuit, having a do-si-do around Winfield Speedway Park, courtesy of Dennis Farr in the Bradshaw Gambler, and he's having an absolute ball. Have a look at this. Setting it up, driving around, getting a little faster down the back, a little more game, into turn number 1. And of course, Dennis is a much bigger man in build. Well, the crowd just spellbound. They just don't know what to do. Here we have this man. He's doing all this stuff. And Derek Warwick. I can't believe it if you can't either. But there's the car, the Dennis Farr owned, Bradshaw Construction sponsored, and of course it's a gambler car from the US of A. There it is right on your screen. Banbury distributors of JCB Cato. Car number 3 from New South Wales. This is heat number 7. I'm sorry, heat number 2. The Super Sedan Scratch, event number 7. On your screen at the moment, it's Rat Gwyn to lead them away, and if he's up to the form of last night, we're really going to see some action from this young guy. Looking good for a start. Jeff Hobden jumps in the air, and away they go. It's Rat Gwyn. He does exactly that, leads them away from car number 3, and he's doing it well. But have a look at Dallas Dyson coming through the field in car number 96. It's Dyson. Oh, we've got it coming together, and there you did. You caught it crash straight in the front. There's fiberglass everywhere. We've got a great big mix-up. Oh, what shocking luck. A bit of a slip. We've got cars spun around the corner, but it's Dyson's car number 96 that's lost all that fiberglass. The immaculately presented Monza. And car number 41 down the main straightaway, also in trouble. We'll see if we can get a shot of him. He's coming down to speak with Jeff Hobden. He's hoping that just the fiberglass is badly buckled and can be knocked down again, but I really don't think so. There's a superb picture on your screen. Car number 41 also in big bother. Dyson in big bother. Goodness gracious me, are they in trouble? Tow truck going over to assist Dyson. He has front end problems. Car also in difficulties. He's come down at the end of the main straightaway. Cole Motors and Ship Brothers Towing do a magnificent job here at Whitfield Speedway Park, but it's nice when we don't see them doing any business at all. You can believe me there. Well, there's at least 3, possibly 4 cars eliminated from this particular event. Just waiting for Peter Collins' car to be inspected. He's around on turn number 3. Stewards are looking at him at the moment. He's between the 2 smash cars there, and he does not seem to be able to restart. The 41 car is running around. He must have convinced the stewards that there is no panels that's going to be removed. We've got another car on the infield being presented to the steward for inspection, and he seems to have pushed a diff back. That's right on the pole line. Just going past Collins's car, the 41 car circulating again. Now, as I say, whether or not he will be allowed to restart will be entirely up to the safety steward here from the RDA. That's the Racing Drivers Association of South Australia. Complete restart, 12 laps of Whitfield Speedway Park up on the Coca-Cola board. And Rat Gwyn got to do it all over again in the big Camaro of position number 1. Of position 2 should be Joan Miller in the Aspro Pink XD Falcon. And from position number 3, we've got to be a little carefully to see who's left. There's a real race of attrition at the moment. Is Keith Sales in the 83 Tirana. Now it looks like, sadly, Pete Collins is out of it. He must have damage to the near side of the car. That's Dyson out in 96. Car 33 also eliminated for the field. It looks as if he's had a diff pushback on the offside. That's 33 Bruce Smith. He's on the infield. And it looks like Pete Collins, sadly, too, will be joining them other 3 competitors. And I'm just trying to pick up another car which is taken to the infield as well. It looks like car number 20. Well, if it's action you want, it's action you'll certainly get here. And it's a great season of racing coming to you from Whitfield Speedway Park here in Virginia, South Australia. What a great lineup, what a great international flavour is brought to you with every race meeting presented by MJS Racing Promotions. Of course, Derek Warwick doing a few laps in the Dennis Farr car number 3, the Banbury Bradshaw Sprinter, and the crowd absolutely enjoying every minute of it. The International Formula 1 driver having 4 or 5 little hop, skip and jumps around as he got out the car and was asked by centre track announcer Mel Rosenwig what it was like. He said it's much easier to drive his Formula 1 Renault. Waiting for a restart. As I say, it's a complete restart with 12 laps posted on the board. Sign being displayed there as we wait for car number 46 to join the pack. And interesting to see if it in fact starts. Yes, he's away. going off the back of the field, and the field looking a little bit light on, but that sadly is the result of that turn 3-4 crash, eliminating no less than 4 racers. Looking good for a start, 12 laps of racing up on the board. Racing now as Jeff Hopkins gives them the green flag to send them on their way. The journey, as I said before, 12 laps. And it's Red Quinn that sets sails again. Joan Miller being allocated back to 3rd place there. And it's car number 3 of Ivor Beneke coming up into 2nd. Beneke running the low line. Quinn electing to run high line in the big Camaro. Beneke coming off high now, and Joan Miller not being able to reclaim that 2nd spot. And that's how the race is starting to settle down. Have a look at the field. That 41 car and all sorts of bother there with that ripple front bottom, the big yellow Camaro, big yellow Corvette, I'm sorry, as they settle down now with 10 rotations. 10 circulations, but Quinn in a bit of trouble, blowing a bit of smoke there as he's going around the corner. It could be an oil surge problem, perhaps a rocker cover gasket, but he seems to be having all sorts of difficulty, the smoke increasing as the pitch goes to the right-hand side of the vehicle. We'll watch him now, smoking badly, the Macoff flame. He's passing car number 10, which is in difficulty up on the high line. Beneke still in 2nd place in car number 3 on your screen at the moment. Joan Miller 3rd in car 7, and forget the rest. The leader, we'll keep an eye on him as he goes down the main straight into turn 1, smoking very badly, and the smoke getting worse. Quinn now appearing to have problems. He's going down into turn 3. Now camera picks him up as he goes, pitches the car sideways. As I said, it could be just something leaking onto the header pipes as he goes round those corners. Travelling at round about 130 kilometres an hour as he goes down the back chute past the Hoffman Dry Cleaning sign. It's Rat Quinn. Car 41 that was involved in that smash earlier is taken to the infield. Cars on your screen also trying to challenge for 4th and 5th place respectively, but are about half a lap down on the leader. The interesting point, picking our leader up, this is on your screen, car 21 Quinn, is will they let him continue with this smoking problem? Beneke not within strike. We've got a red light. Car 10, I think it is. There it is on your screen. A picture telling 1,000 words has dropped a tyre. Red light down, and of course for safety reasons, the stewards pull an immediate red light. It could be dangerous for both the competitors, officials and the crowd, and that is mandatory. Can we pick up car number... There it is. Jeff Hogman takes a Jeff marker, a street away from the action, but takes a mark with the tyre with his foot, pushes it off there. This is our leader, but as you can see, the car is still smoking, idling on the start-finish line. Quinn obviously looking round, a little concerned. A young man, but a veteran in his own right of years. Six laps remaining on the Coca-Cola scoreboard, and this is your leader, car 21, Rat Quinn. The question is, will the car start exhuming smoke? We'll have to watch it now as he goes into turn 1. There's a whisper of it. Ivor Beneke takes this chance to catch him up. They're a length apart. Beneke in the 3 car running 2nd. Joan Miller trying to hang on to 3rd in car number 7, but there's a challenge coming her way from car number 43. Brendan McCrane there coming up beside him in the Commodore. As we see Quinn back in trouble with this smoke. He's got to hang on for 5 rotations of Speedway Park. Beneke will be watching very keenly. Quinn still being able to hold that lead though. He's opened it up to about 4 car lengths as they come past. 4 laps remaining for Quinn. Boy, there's a drama unfolding here. Quinn smoking more and more as he rotates around, and it seems to be, as you can see on your screen, it goes away a little as he comes down the main straight. It makes me think perhaps it's an oil surge problem, a rocker cover seal, or gasket in fact, or perhaps something leaking on the header pipes from further down the motor. It's getting now very, very thick as he goes around there. Almost a James Bond effort as he goes off turn number 2. He's only got 2.5 laps remaining. Will the stewards let him hang on, and can he hang on? Rat Quinn, the leader. There's Beneke in 2nd place, and there's the battle for 3rd. It's still the lady in the Astro pink car number 7, Joan Miller, the XD Falcon, It's Falcon versus Holden. The XD versus the Commodore. McCrane trying to get low on there and come around underneath her. He's done that now. He's through into third. Gwynn hanging on. We'll watch him through to the finish. The smoke getting fast and furious out the back of the car. But Gwynn's determined to hang on. Beneke nowhere near striking distance. Good luck to you, Rat Gwynn. You've hung onto this one by a wing and a prayer. But there's the checkered flag. He's going to take it out. The race going to Rat Gwynn in car 21. In second place, car 3. And he was hoping and hoping that the smoke was going to get worse, but it wasn't to be. And that's Ivor Beneke in third place, car 43, snatched it 2 laps from home. That's Brendan McCrane. And the lady in fourth position, car number 7, Joan Miller. He's about to take out the first one of the top elimination matches for the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. Tony Noske defeating Gil Cameron from South Australia. Now the process of elimination now brings on 6 times national champion Gary Rush, and he will go up against Noske. 2 laps of racing coming up on the Coca-Cola scoreboard, and it's the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters top 8 elimination. Rush dialing in and trying to psych Noske out naturally. Good little move if you like it. Randy Kins is going to be amongst it, Bobby Blacklaw, Max Dumsney from Victoria, and it is in fact young Ian Bradford in car 77 from Western Australia, driving the 77 car of Sid Moore, not Martin Lawton unfortunately, and as we spoke of earlier. Looking good for a start. Rush on the inside, Noske on the outside. Here's a go into turn 1. Have a look at Noske, might get Rush going off too, and he's done it. It's going to be close stuff. A good camera shot. It's Rush up high. The experience coming down on Noske. And 1 lap to go. Rush backs it in. This could be race record stuff. It's Rush off 2. There's the distance between them. The camera winding up as far as it can. But it's Gary Rush going to take it off this time. What magic stuff. Rush Noske. So there we go. We've got Rush now eliminating Tony Noske to the infield. The crowd on their toes, and so they should be. Who's going to win the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters here tonight at Speedway Park? Great effort by Tony Noske, but not good enough to beat the 6 times former national champion Gary Rush. So it's Rush versus Blacklaw, the 2 Sydney-siders. Rush, the holder of the New South Wales Championship at the moment, and this man coming on the circuit in the Central District Smash Repair car, number 78, Bobby Blacklaw. Both cars from the same town, of course, that's Sydney, as I mentioned before. And as I said, Blacklaw 3 times New South Wales champion. Rush 6 times national and current New South Wales championship. Blacklaw just going on the hammer there a bit. And Jeff Holman telling him to break up. Breakups like lineup. Blacklaw's hoping they'll break up with him in front. That's the one, and it's Blacklaw off the pole and Rush off 2. The all-important start, and Gary Winterbottom being very, very conscious that's the Gene Stewart prepare start for both. Ogwen giving him the green. Rush gets the drive and throws the number 2 Winfield car around turn 1-2. Blacklaw, he'll have 2 feet on the accelerator, has no answer for this guy. Here's Rush around 3-4, and it's Rush with 1 lap to go. I'd say he's unchallengeable, but he washes a bit going into turn number 1. Blacklaw trying everything in the OTR as they go down the back chute. Rush around 3, and it's going to be victory for him. That's 2 wins to Rush. Bobby Blacklaw now goes to the infield, and we wait for car 77, young Ian Bradford from Western Australia. Both cars on the circuit circulating around. Young Ian Bradford, known affectionately as Bonds in Western Australia. giving the Sidmore-owned 77 car a few squirts on the accelerator just to make sure everything is honky-dory. Just waiting for Rush. Rush again off position number 2. The Challenger on the inside. The current King of the Castle on the outside. Bearing in mind, Rush completely had this car rebuilt from the roll cage forward after a spectacular accident when the steering box broke last night, spearing him into the turn 2 wall. Rush again, no start. Jeff Hockman will not cop it. And Gary Winterbottom, the chief steward, also Secretary of the Sprint Car Council of Australia, saying, no way, fellas, go back and do it again. The white line, of course, as we've seen earlier on your screen, situated on turn number 3, and they must come a lap together. Turn 4, I'm sorry. It's not let them go, but the picture tells 1,000 words. Maybe Rush broke it a little, but it's all in motor racing, and Rush set sails again. Bradford trying to run the mid-track, but no answer. This guy is really off the air, Gary Rush in car number 2. It's the Winfield car as he goes around into turn number 1, through into 2. Have a look at the way that wing flexes under the pressure as he goes into 3. The wing taking massive G-forces, and he takes yet another checkered flag. That's the elimination of Ian Bradford. He'll go to the infield, and now this could be the dash of the evening, because the man he's been dicing with for the last 3 months in the US of A is about to challenge him here at Winfield Speedway Park for 2 laps of racing. 2 cutthroat laps, because the guy who wins this remains, the guy who loses, it's infield time. And of course the man he comes up against next will be Nipper Lacey, and then it should be none other than Randy Kinzer from the US of A. Dumsney just having a hot lap, trying to get the car dial in, the tyres working, and that's him coming around the back straight to meet Rush. King of the Castle times 3 for Rush. Will he make it 4, or will it be Dumsney's turn? Dumsney, the current South Australian champion from Warrnambool in Victoria, driving the Black Magic OTR Sprint car. And of course, OTR Sprint cars, Australian designed and built in Clayton, Victoria. Rush driving an American designed and built Gambler. And we'll see what this will be, a psych job as they come round here. Rush and Dumsney, very much together. They've let them go. Now let's watch it. And if you think I'm excited, have a look at this. It's Dumsney up on the midline. Rush trying to get back at him. Dumsney looking smoother off 2. They go into 3. It's Dumsney pulling away in the John Sydney OTR. It's 1 lap to go. Can Dumsney do it? The young blood there. Rush coming back. Have a look at this for exciting stuff. They're down the back street. If you think I'm yelling, boy, you've got to believe it as they go around 3-4. Here's a go by Rush, but it's Max Dumsney that takes it out. The South Australian champion, and it's goodbye Gary Rush onto the infield. And in fact, the next challenger will be car 16 from Victoria, Nipper Lacey. We'll look at the King of the Castle now, and that is none other than the current South Oz champion, Max Dumsney. One of the few Australians, and possibly the only Australian, to win a main event at Knoxville Raceway in the US of A, the home of the Outlaws, beating such names as Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and of course, Sammy Slaughter. Sprint car racing, the legendary in America, even patronised and competed in by the late great screen actor Clark Gable. Lacey on the inside, Dumsney on the outside. One more time around, says Jeff Hogman, and that's the story. Lacey very, very quick in the first night of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. And of course, Dumsney very, very unlucky in the feature race, spinning out after 2 laps. But of course, there is only 2 laps to decide this one. Lacey, up from the old days of Tracy Speedway in Victoria, has come back after 18 years. This chassis designed and built by his son Brett, but it's Lacey that's got it on him. Dumsney coming back at him. Here's Dumsney, there's a big pedal to the metal. It's Dumsney on the inside. Lacey cutting down. Dumsney trying to get at him. There's 1 to go. It's Lacey so far. Let's have a look at him into turn 1. It's Nipper Lacey taking it away. The Victorian veteran up high.
Dumsney going for the outside pass. Half a lap to do it in. But it's Nipper Lacey's race now. He washes. Dumsney coming at him. But it's Lacey now to the castle. Well, another turn of the tables. Rush is gone. Dumsney's gone. Lacey king of the castle. And it's Lacey to face up to the JPS number 2 car of American All-Star champion Randy Kinzer. Dumsney parking the OTR Black Magic car on the infield. Not to be disappointed, but certainly to be a little concerned now after he's starting, for his starting position. Have a look at Kinzer, dialing in. Randy, of course, will be part of the Kinzer family troupe touring Australia for the 1985-86 Speedway season. The king of the castle outside, the current champion, if you like, of this 2-lap series, Nipper Lacey in car 16. The Lacey's Bodyworks Cineco Oil Beretta car. No, they will not play this time. Sorry, fellas. Ready. Wait for Nipper Lacey. Here's the order from the steward. And we'll wait for Nipper Lacey to come around in position number 2. Lacey will bring the house down if he can beat the American. And, of course, the old hometown patronage running a little high at the moment. Watch it this time. I don't think they'll let him go. Randy. Nipper's being possibly a little psychic on this matter. And of course, if it does continue, the steward has the right to eliminate car 2. This will be a start. They're racing this time. Lacey round the outside of the American. It's Lacey into turn 1. We'll watch the American. He's up high. Lacey clearing out. It could be an Australian victory here, and that's what it's come down to. Is this the rerun of the American Cup, I ask you? One lap to go. Lacey into turn number 1. The camera shot close on him. It's superb camera work down the back chute. Kids are trying to throw the challenge. Stand up Australia, because it's Nipper Lacey from Victoria that's going to beat the American. You've got to believe it. Well done, Nipper Lacey. Randy Kinzer went up high, and that's all it needed for this 2-lap winner-take-all Southern Death Series. Nipper Lacey, the crowd ecstatic, waving their programs, and boy, the Kinzer's going back to run the spanner over the car and get that extra half a second that'll make all the difference. It's a race time for the Grand Nationals here at Winfield Speedway Park. This is the Repco Grand National feature, and our thanks to Repco for being involved with us tonight, the great Australian company. And look who's leading them away. Car number 11 from Victoria. Victoria 1, Kenny Logue. No start. No start. Jeff Ogden, and thanks, Kerry McCarthy coming under the back of car number 6, Stephen Miller. Kerry, of course, maybe a little unable to see that the green flag didn't go down. And, of course, if you have a close look at the races after we've watched Jeff Hogben there observing the field coming around this time, you'll see that these projectiles are very, very low-slung race cars. Powered by 350 Chevrolet motors, the same as the Sprinters, and they're set on their way very sneakily there as Stevie Stewart takes it out. Car 95 in second place. It'll be Gary Reuter. And he's looking good as they set down the back chute. Stewart from Reuter and Kerry McCarthy very quickly up into position number 3. Behind him is Ken Logue, relegated back to 4th position. And behind them it looks like car number 6 of Stevie Miller. Here's a challenge down the back chute. McCarthy coming up to meet Reuter, the challenging for position number 2. There it is, car 47. The picture telling 1,000 words. Stevie Stewart, Gary Reuter and Kerry McCarthy, and that's what the race is going to be. McCarthy holding low line. Here's a go down the back chute, and it's McCarthy through into second place. McCarthy around the top bend. But there's the man he's got to catch, the big black car, number 47 of Steve Stewart. Stevie Stewart now putting the pedal to the metal. He must be able to sense McCarthy behind him. The big slab side of the aerodynamic Grand Nationals running in the Repco Grand National feature here tonight at Winfield Speedway Park in near record time. 6 laps remaining on the Coca-Cola scoreboard as they go down into turn number 3. It's McCarthy looking for the low line, but sitting right there in his way, car number 47, the leader, Steve Stewart. These two cars have cleared out. McCarthy trying for the dive, but Stewart shutting the gate. They go down the back chute. McCarthy up high, lost about 3 lengths, but the big acceleration of the 350 Chev puts him back. Crosses up, goes for the low line again. He's working out that Stewart's going mid-track off the corner. He wants to try and get down low so he can do what we call a slingshot off the bend. Now he's trying the high line approach, but still to no avail. Stewart going into the corner slower than McCarthy. McCarthy got the speed up this time. Here's a go side by side, but McCarthy not having just enough to get underneath Stewart as they go back. Stewart shuts the gate. This time 3 to go. 3 rotations of Winfield Speedway Park. If McCarthy's going to do something, cop that as McCarthy gives him a bit of a touch as they go around the bottom bend. The leaders now, all happening as they go down the back chute. It's Stewart taking it down there. They go around the bottom bend. They've got the pedal to the metal, and that's what it's all about. Here's a go with 1 to go. McCarthy up on the high line. You've got to believe this. It's McCarthy into the lead. He's got him on the outside. Half a lap to go. Kerry McCarthy's going to bag this one. This is the Repco Grand National Feature Race, and Kerry McCarthy's taking it out. Second place, car 47, Stevie Stewart. And in third place, car number 95, Gary Reuter, followed by the 18 car of Tony Parkinson. And last but not least, car number 6 of Stephen Miller. Welcome to the Wins Super Sedan feature here tonight at Winfield Speedway Park. 20 big laps of racing, and that's on the Coca-Cola scoreboard as we see car number 10 try and clear out, and it's a long, long way between here and the checkered flag. Cars trying to settle down your screen. There's already Joan Miller in the big XD Falcon down on the low line, is trying to put a number on the Scotchy car number 10. Have a look at the rest of them, all the hot shots threading their way through. Oh, McCarthy up very high. Ivor Beneke coming through the field there also. Rat Quinn in car 21, and they're looking good. Few exchanges of paint as they go around the bottom bend, but the leader now is car number 43 as he sets sail around there. Have a look at Rat Quinn. He must have had that oil problem fixed. He's trying to sort it out. He's going around turn 2, running in about 9th or 10th position. And what a great night of racing this is. The night of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. Car 10 in trouble up on the line. He gets himself up. Jim Bolliitis in car 20 from Victoria trying to sort himself out. But there's your leader on your screen, car number 43. The 43 car looking super quick as he comes around. That's McRae. And we've got the yellow light down. We've got a car in trouble. I think it was Pete Collins up the rear of the field as McRae comes around to take the restart. Should be Indian file. McRae in car number 43 to lead them away. That's if the stewards have not gone back a lap to find that he passed anybody for that position, and it seems to be all true and correct. Sadly, Dallas Dyson is out. Of course, he had that coming together earlier in the event, early in the last event, I should say. And the car is on the trailer for the evening, and that really is bad luck. Looking good for the restart this time as they come around. Green flag, this time 17 laps remaining. And it's Kim Cottrell that takes the lead in car 63, gets away from out of that one, and he's back in. And Terry Griff Griss, the big Corvette from Calcium Park in Victoria, has a remodified nose after that coming together. Oh, there's a flip of the back chute. There's a big rollover. It's McRae. He's gone. It was a rollover. He lost it halfway up the chute. It dug in, and that was it. It was headlight, tail light, and there's the answer. Crash crew in attendance. Really super spectacular stuff, and let's hope that McRae is okay. Goodness me. Just dug in and rolled over. And we're just hearing now from the track officials that he's quite okay and out the car. He will be checked medically. That, of course, is a prerequisite for any accident of this nature. Safety is paramount. Solid red light means we'll have to now wait for the restart. We'll try it again. After that spectacular rollover, with 4 laps down, that was McRae over in the back straight in the Commodore. Here is the restarting field. Car 63, Kim Cottrell to lead him away. Behind him, Jim Voliitis in car 20. Over Beneke, car 3 behind him. Rat Gwyn in the 21 car, the big Camaro, followed by car 87, Robbie Marchant, and Terry Griss from Ballarat Victoria in car 41. And racing they go into turn number 1. It's car 63 that leads them around. Kim Cottrell. Cottrell off 2. Voliitis from Victoria in car 20, the big Monaro in second place. Beneke in the oh, goodness gracious, getting tongue-tied in the Monza running third, and behind them the big Corvette of Robbie Marchant. But here's Marchant starting to make his gameplay as he comes around there, off turn number 2, down the back chute he goes. He's running high line on Voliitis. We'll see what he can pick up there. Here's the leader, Kim Cottrell, car number 63. Here they come, crash, bang and cop it. There's tyre rubbing and all sorts of happening. And it's Guyver Beneke that's in trouble. He's pulling infield. He crashed into Voliitis, and there's the result. Infield for car 3. McCarthy sitting spun just infield on turn 4. Now we've got the leader. What mayhem. 13 laps remaining. Other cars spinning, smoke, spark, boy, excitement in this particular event, the Win Super Sedan feature. There's the car stalled right on the centre of the turn 3-4 bend. The leader passes. We'll pick him up as he comes around there. We've got a yellow light down. A yellow light's gone. The officials have decided that car 23 is going to be a problem, and they're going to remove him from the infield. Andrew Leach, I've got as the driver of car 23, the big black Corvette, and he's brought down the yellow. There is now 12 big circulations of Winfield Speedway Park remaining in this particular race, the Wins Super Sedan feature. To see what's happened here, we've got the Ship Motors tow truck in attendance. Car 76 also pulled infield, and that's bad luck. Doing very, very well. It's John Forrester, come off position 11. See if I can see what the big Falcon is ailing from. What a magnificent crowd here tonight at Winfield Speedway Park to witness this memorable occasion, and of course it's the inaugural running of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. Top support coming from super sedans, and this race is certainly no exception. Just looking at the tow truck lifting at the turn 3-4 bend, it seems that there's a rear end problem with this particular car. As we see on our screen now, they're lifting up the thing, and perhaps it's a quick change differential that's broken gears or a drive shaft gone. Seems to be some fluid under the vehicle, would indicate perhaps even a broken diff. So that's very much bad luck for car 23 Andrew Leach, and that looks like him on the trailer for this evening's racing. Okay, we're waiting to pick up the leader as Jeff Hogman allocates a particular competitor to his position, and here's the man to beat. Car 63, Kim Cottrell. In second place, car 87, Robbie Marchant. Behind him from Victoria in the big four-door Monaro, Jim Voliitis. And breathing right down his exhaust pipe, car number 21, the Camaro of Rat Gwyn. 13 laps remaining. We're waiting for a restart in the Wins Super Sedan feature. Into turn 1 goes the leader under the green now, and it's Kim Cottrell. But have a look at Marchant right behind him. He tries to do a number on him out of turn number 2. They fly down the back chute into turn 3. He now gets down very low. Cottrell trying to come around on the high line and get that extra drive. He does this successfully and races Marchant back into turn 1. Driving high again. Here's another chance for Marchant. Cottrell's left the gate open. Oh, there's a touch, and it's Marchant that spins infield. He's going to try and rejoin the race, but I've got to tell you, it's going to be a long, hard drive. Here's Marchant now. Picks up the race again. He's back to about 6th or 7th place, as this time it's Volyitis, also relegated back to 3rd, and that's Rat Quinn in the 2nd. Could this be the battle? Cottrell and Quinn all over again from the heat races we're about to see. Quinn driving steadily. A little bit of smoke, and they tell me it was an oil leak. We've had somebody else spin. I'll try and pick him up. I think it's possibly car 41 from Victoria. Over on turn 2, that'll be Terry Grist. The leader unchallenged. 4 lengths difference between him and place number 2. This man on your screen, Rat Quinn. There's the leader. Going around turn 2. Quinn closing up again. Seeming to come off the corners much quicker. The 56 car, in fact, was the one that spun. I'll apologise to Terry Grist. Grist still in the race, holding about position 5. The leader past me now. He goes around underneath car 56. The car that's gone 3 just 2 laps ago. Quinn doing likewise in the big car 21. The Camaro now setting himself up to the corner. There's the distance between the 2 cars as they set down the main straight. 7 laps remaining, counting down. Quinn still has time to put time on this leader. There's the distance between them, about 6 car lengths, but it closes on the corner. Another car in trouble, but he recovers and pulls out of harm's way. Car 76 got a bright light shining there. Perhaps it's an oil or overheating problem. We go back to the leader. The space closing between first and second. And it's Cottrell. Whoa, he got a bit high there. Here's a chance for Quinn. Quinn closing again. 1 car length between the 2. 5 laps remaining on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. This is Winfield Speedway Park, and the actions are plenty. The leader now trying to settle down, trying to get down low. There's the 5 laps remaining. He goes too low this time. Quinn getting high. Here's a challenge down the straight, but Cottrell just has enough to out-drag him into turn 1. Quinn high, tries the slingshot off 2. Down the back chute, up high he goes again, and he's got him. Can he hold it? Cottrell running low. It's Quinn. There's passing cars, lap cars. They're trying to pass him. He finds the hole. Cottrell's just right out of it. He's pulled infield, as a matter of fact. The spark's gone out the flame for Cottrell, and it's now Quinn in first. I've got to go right back, and it appears to be perhaps Robbie Marchant in second place, and he is almost a third of a lap behind this man, car 21. It's a cakewalk for Quinn. Quinn deserving every bit of it. He persisted all the way as they go under the 5AA sign. Down the back chute goes the leader. The leader coming around 3 now, into 4 as we pick him up. Down the main straight, and boy, we'll be glad to see this. He looks good for the feature race here, the Wins Super Sedan feature at Winfield Speedway Park. He goes off turn number 2. Half a lap to go for this boy, Rat Quinn. The South Australian really showing all Australia what he's going to be about, and the real challenge for the Australian Super Sedan Championship. It's Rat Quinn taking the checker in car 21. I'll give second place to Robbie Marchant in car 87. Third place to car 38, Peter Collins. And fourth place perhaps to car number 41 from Victoria in Terry Quist. Our leader circulating round now, the big Camaro, heaving out a few fumes, but take nothing away from him. He really deserves it. And have a look at Robbie Marchant. He's got a near side front wheel that looks like the hub or steering arm's broken and about to fall off. What excitement to the conclusion of the 20-lap Wins Super Sedan feature race. Well, we thought it was all over. There's our winner being attended to by the Women for Wheels, and he physically caught on fire. Now, we hope it's nothing major. It may have been fuel that's come out from the exhaust system after he's backed off after 20 hard laps of racing that has ignited. I'm not really sure. Let's hope there's no damage. He certainly doesn't deserve that. But Women in Wheels attending the fires out. Quinn quite okay. Certainly a spectacular end to the Wins feature race tonight. gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Winfield Speedway Park for the inaugural running of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. 30 laps on the board. We've got to see whether it's that or 25. There is a discussion at the moment, but that's not important because here is the field. Off position number 1, and proud he is Victoria car number 16, Nipper Lacey. Off position number 2, car 2 from the United States of America, Randy Kinzer. Off position number 3, also from Victoria, car 5, Max Dumsney. Australia 2, Gary Rush from position number 4. From position 5, from Western Australia, car 77, Ian Bradford. From position 6, New South Wales car 78, Bob Blacklaw. From position 7, Victoria 10, Tony Noski. From position 8, car 17, from here in South Australia, Gil Cameron. From position 9, hometown favourite, Zeke Agars in car number 3. Car 8, Bob Aylesbury, also from South Australia, is from position 10. Bill Barrows, one of South Australia's favourite sons, in car number 6 from position 11. Wayne Bunker from position 12 in car number 27. Former national champion Bob Tunks from New South Wales in car 54 from position 13. And the winner of last night's feature race, car 6 from New South Wales, George Tatnell from position 14. The back row is made up from New South Wales car 3, Dennis Farr, and position number 16, last but not least, Victoria 18, former speed car champion Ian Lewis. Those are the starting positions for the inaugural running of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. You can see straight down the barrel there, that is George Tatnell asking some questions of Jeff Hogden, securely strapped in a 6-piece safety harness, his arms pinned to that harness by arm restraints, that massive collar underneath his helmet to alleviate his neck of G-forces, and of course a helmet restraint right round his arm as well to also affect the same. Nipper Lacey on your screen, the man to lead him away, car 16, the Lacey's Bodyworks Cineco Oil Beretta chassis car. Naturally he will attempt to what we call clear out, and that's what I'd be doing if I was there off position 1. But right up beside him is that veteran American All-Star champion Randy Kinzer. And right behind him is 2 guys that are race sharp, fresh from their American tour. Victoria's Max Dumsney out of position 3 in car 5. And Australia 2, Gary Rush from position number 4. The first lap is going to be a scorcher, and you've got to believe it, because what Lacey wants to do is clear out, get into the traffic, and literally space lap cars between him, thus slowing down the rest of them. Can he do it? We're about to find out here at Winfield Speedway Park. The track for this season has completely been re-altered in Canberra, and it has been rated amongst Australia's best, if not the best race surface to be produced this season for 1985-86. The track surface this evening is absolutely superb in texture. This surface has a great clay content, and it's very, very necessary for these massive wide tyres on the back of these 500 plus horsepower sprint cars. And you've got to believe it, around about 1,200 horsepower, these cars, 1,200 pound, with 500 horsepower, pushing it round at some 140 kilometres, bearing in mind this circuit is a mere 430 metres long. The field looking good. The crowd asking to applaud these warriors as they go around. The wing warriors, they call them in speedway circles. And boy, spectacular racing you have not seen if you have not personally visited a track to the calibre of Winfield Speedway Park to see this type of superb speedway action. Nipper Lacey, Randy Kinzer off the front row. Max Dumsney, Gary Rush off the second row. In the third row, car 77, West Australia, Ian Bradford. Outside of him, the blonde bombshell, Bob Blacklaw from New South Wales. That's the first 3 rows. Jeff Hogman asking the Winfield pace cars to go off the track, thus allowing the cars to come around to face the green for lap after lap of gut-wrenching racing, and that's exactly what it's been for 2 great nights here for this magnificent series presented by MJS Promotions, the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. Tension is high amongst the racers. Jeff Hogden ready with the green. Stand by for a start. Not this time. Yes, they've let him go. And it's Kidser that got the jump. Randy Kidser rush up in the second place. Lacey back to third. Bradford trying to go with him. Got onto the infield. But it's the American clearing out. Have a look through the field. We've got trouble. Rush has rolled. Rush has rolled. Gary Rush, the 6 times national champion, has rolled on turn 3. Turn 3. Rush. He would be devastated. Last night took a right-hand turn in the feature race, straight into the turn 2 wall. They cut and shut, if you like the expression of panel beating, this vehicle, flying an imported Gambler half chassis in from Sydney. He's cruise toiled all day, and this is what has happened on the first lap on turn number 3, not even getting round to the judge for the first time. He's had a coming together. He's rolled. He is there, sitting in the car. He would be he's out the car. We can see him on the left of the screen. He would be absolutely devastated. He's put all his eggs into one basket to win this race tonight, and he's brought it right down. Oh, what mayhem. Bobby Blacklaw, car 78. He's inverted. He looks like he will restart. Let's have a look through the field for any other damage. It would only be superficial in respect to wings, and hopefully not suspension or tyres. Rush walking from the track, talking with Milton Owen, and believe me, he's speaking, he's pointing. Milton Owen pulling him out the way there, the camera crew right on the spot. What could this guy say? John Barrett and his dedicated crew on the Winfield car number 2 from New South Wales, as I said, have toiled all day, cutting the complete front of the chassis from the roll cage forward. They have rebuilt the car, rebuilt the front suspension, and here's the car here tonight. It's absolutely gone great. Every bit of their expectations have been answered through the evening, and now devastation. The first lap of this great race, and Gary Rush is out. Complete restart, I would say, would be the order of the day. I have not seen the board raised. I am waiting for Nipper Lacey to take up position 1. Rush was off position 4. We're going to take a minute to get it off. There's a photo of Rush. Have a look at him. What would be going through this man's head? He's been racing since around about 1963 when he started off. He's looking, he's asking himself questions, but believe me, this man is a pure professional, and he will have his thoughts with himself at the moment, and he will in turn bounce back. Crash Crews coming off with the number 2 Gambler. Only a yellow light down. Let me explain, if a red light does come down through mishap, and incidentally, while I'm speaking, Bob Blacklaw has been pushed to the infield, will take no further part in the event, car 78. Let me get back to the point I was making. If a red light does come down, that means that pit crews will be allowed to attend their mounts. They'll be allowed to change tyres, add fuel. They'll be allowed to assist the driver in the form of tear-offs, but the driver may not break his harness and leave the vehicle. So that's that. George Tatnell trying to dial it. There's Rush's car coming off. Suspension broken on the rear of the vehicle. A wheel broken. The top aerofoil broken and front by the looks of it from this position. And what a sick and sorry sight. John Barrett would have his hands in his head. He's a very weary man, because let me tell you, when the front end or the front section of the chassis arrived at 10 a.m. this morning, John Barrett and his crew had already stripped the car bare and had cut the other piece off. I would imagine their toil would have started at around about 0600 hours, 6 a.m. We're getting very technical here, but it would have been 6 o'clock this morning when it all happened. So that's the situation at the moment. Cars forming up. We're looking for a restart here, and they're looking good. Yellow lights are on, and one more time around, according to the cross flags of our clerk, of course, Jeff Hogden, down on the start-finish line. Don't forget, of course, the white line system around on turn number 4, and thus allowing the drivers to come around in an orderly fashion. If they don't, no start, they do it again. If the offence is committed twice, the offending driver can be either sent to rear of field or run under a protest flag, subject to being eliminated after an inquiry. Let's have a look at this field now. They're coming around and looking good. The starter poised with the green flag hidden or concealed behind his back.
Nipper Lacey to lead away. Will he get jumped by the American? Racing. Let's see if they can do it this time in the Whitfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. Lacey jumped again. The American away. Dubsney trying to set after him. He's back to position number 4. We've got somebody else flowing through the field. It's Noski from Victoria going backwards. The American setting sail. We've got a problem down here, but they've rectified. Yellow lights come down. Yellow lights down, and Zeke Agar's backwards on the fence line down here in the main straight. We have Zeke Agar's. He's had a coming together with somebody. I caught it out the corner of my eye. And as I say, it's Zeke Agar's car through the Tappan 63 car. The Lord Melbourne Hotel car sitting backward into the fence just on the exit of turn 4 into the main straightaway. Let me explain these corners to you. Zeke Agar's may be able to restart. Whether it will be from the rear of the field, that would be a decision of the Chief Steward, Gary Winterbottom, and he will decide whether he got there by himself or was assisted, and may in fact send the offending driver to the rear of the field or worse. So we'll wait to see on that point. Complete restart again, because let me tell you, the nerves will be very taut out there. Lacey must be thinking, how can I beat this American into turn number 1? That's the magic question at the moment. Nipper Lacey from Victoria on the pole, car number 16, and outside of him, twice beating him for the starts we've had so far, is car 2 from the US of A, and that is Randy Kinzer. Jeff Hogman displaying the cross flags again to indicate same. And as I say to you, let me tell you quickly for you viewers at home how the corner system works. The first turn they make is turn 1. The exit to that corner is turn 2. The back chute or the back straightaway is self-explanatory. Turn 3 is when they go into the next corner, and the exit to that corner is turn 4. So that may make your mind a little easier on what we're talking about when we're talking about various positions of cars. Just an interesting note too, Rush blames a steering box for his crash into the fence last night. One would wonder if he had a similar failure to this evening. Here's the start. Once again the American got the drive. Lacey beat in the corner, he dives deep, tries to go with him. The American picks up 5 car lengths on the exit. Carl Kinzer, the mechanic of this car, has really got the car dialed in speedway terms to the track. Set up in road racing terms, dialed in speedway terms, but make no mistake about it, who's going to beat Randy Kinzer, because he has just bailed out. Second place getting Nipper Lacey. He would have 2 feet on the accelerator. Just bearing in mind there's 2 pedals in the sprint car. That's the accelerator on the right and a brake on the left operating on 3 wheels. Billy Barrow's coming through the field. He's settling now. He's now up to 5th position. It's running like this. Randy Kinzer first. Nipper Lacey second. Ian Bradford third in car 77 from Western Australia. Dumsney 4th. Blacklaw has restarted now in position number 5. And Bill Barrow's running in 6th, followed by car 17 from South Australia of Gil Cameron. Behind that, Dennis Farr, Ian Lewis, and Bob Aylesbury. Tandall further back in the field, way out of it. 25 laps showing up now of the 30-lap journey. This is the inaugural running of the Whitfield Australian Sprint Car Masters, as Kinzer's already up behind Zeke Agar, who incidentally was sent to the rear of the field for spinning on that first attempt to restart. Lacey going there. Dumsney not seem to be able to do a number on it. Have they dialed their cars in wrong? Have they misinterpreted the track? As I said to you earlier in this program, one turn of this matter can dial them in or dial them out, but sometimes it's the car that can be dialed in for the last 10 laps as this track will naturally change. Will be the guy who may take the checker. Lacey trying to go with Kinzer. 8, 10, 14 lengths difference between them. Almost a third of the lap. A wisp of smoke out of Lacey's car. It could be a problem. The leader goes for track. Lacey in big trouble. Smoke everywhere. Will he be black flagged for a minute? He's pulled out. Lacey could have done an engine. Bad luck for Nipper Lacey again in the feature race. Smoke billowing everywhere. It looks like something's let go, but the leader presses on. That makes it second place now, Bradford. Bradford now in second place. Car 77. Dumsney looming up on him. Six lengths the difference between them, and Dumsney closing. The leader, a third of the lap in front of Bradford. So it's in first place. Car number 2, Randy Kinzer. In second place, car 77, Ian Bradford from Perth, Western Australia. In third place, car 5 from Victoria, South Australian champion Max Dumsney. And in fourth place, South Australia's Billy Barrows. Ladies and gentlemen, this race is in a cracker place. 17 laps remaining on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. Around past the 5 AA book radio sign goes the leader. Down the back chute just that quick. Into turn number 3. A copybook race for Randy Kinzer. He's up behind George Tatnell, that's how quick. And he's now put a lap on the wily Sydney veteran who took out the main race last night. Still he continues to go. Dumsney seems to be seemingly off the pace at the moment, but nonetheless Ian Bradford could be making up a little ground. But he's certainly not the fast Dumsney we come to expect over the last 2 nights. Bill Barrows closing on Dumsney. His pace is lifted. After last night's shocking accident, they've done a magic job rebuilding this car. There goes the leader again, the JPS car number 2. He goes down the back chute, and Randy Kinzer's the driver's name. He runs the All-Star Circuit in America, and he's one of the stars amongst men there. Lucky 13 laps for Randy Kinzer as he goes off turn 2 down the back chute as we pick up Wayne Bunker. Disappointing this evening. In fact, Bunker done an engine change overnight. There's Aylesbury, another South Australian competitor. There's Tatnell. We expected a lot faster time out of him. He's off the pace. Here's a go. We're trying to get a look at the second place getter. And round they come. Hasn't changed. And it's Dumsney now up into second place. Car 5 from Victoria, but he is exactly 1/2 a lap behind this flying American. Randy Kinzer, he's got it all down. Tatnell there dicing with Dennis Marr. The car that was used by the Formula 1 driver Derek Warwick earlier in the display. Oh, we've got a crash! Turn 1! A crash on turn 1. Noski. It wasn't actually a roll, it was a magic loop in midair. And we've got a problem. We've got another car. Dumsney's crashed. Dumsney has brought it down. He's spun it completely, and Dumsney's out of the race. Goodness gracious, have a look at the tank tail on car number 5. He's gone around. The rear crash bar's missing. He will not restart. Suspension's gone in the car. Noski's out of his car. That's car number 10 we're looking at on the screen now. Both damaged that could have been fixed if it had been a heat race, but forget it, gentlemen, because this is the race, the Sprintcar Masters. It's now up to Bill Barrows. Bill Barrows now should assume position number 3. Bill Barrows should assume that's if Bonds Bradford is still running okay. Now, there's Bradford going around in front of me now. Dumsney is in problems. Get back onto Dumsney there. He is being assisted from the car. No, he's okay. He's backing off, but obviously bitterly disappointed. Crashing the Black Magic OTR over there. This car is the OTR factory car from Melbourne in Victoria. And this guy is just not having luck in feature races, being brilliant in the heats, but where it all counts, it's not coming down. 11 laps remaining as we see here on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. And boy, if you believe this action is crackerjack, you've got to believe it. It's been running in record time up to this time of 11 laps. That means that they've, have to do my sums, 19 laps have been expelled. And here's our leader on your screen at the moment. Car 2 from the US of A, the JPS car of Randy Kinzer. Now they've got Blacklaw up in second place. I'm questioning that at the moment because I would believe that it's either Bill Barrows or, in fact, Bonds Bradford. Now, Bonds Bradford has, in fact, just thrown onto the track his electronic, if we could just pick up the official walking infield here. You know, we're trying to get our camera around to it near the Winfield car. The large official coming around by the Winfield car. Now you'll see he has a matter in his hand there, and that in fact is electronically driven tear-off dispenser, as we call them. It goes across the visor of the helmet. Obviously, Bonds Bradford's either lost his battery. Now, how this particular article runs, it clips across the helmet visor.
you'll see there is a lead hanging off it there. I think the official's got it up in his hand there. There's a little motor on one side, and he has, in fact, on one side of his steering wheel like a little horn button. Every time he wants a bit of clear vision, he presses that button, and in fact it goes across his screen and gives him a clear view. Now this is obviously packed up. That might be his problem, and maybe why he went off the pace a little bit. That's why I'm suggesting Bill Barrows is off position 2 now, which seems to be as they line up, and Bonds Bradford's going to take a chance on not having any tear-offs. Now this is essential. All these drivers could go out with anything up to 15 tear-offs for a race like this, or even more if they don't become distorted. That being the fact, Bonds will be hoping that he can shield or wipe his only master shield. Now, for any of you that know full face helmets, you know you've got a master shield, Speedway and sometimes circuit races where these tear-offs. Billy Barrows is also using one of these motor drive units, and as should be Nipper Lacey, and of course sadly Nipper Lacey's parked on the infield. The infield is badly littered with cars, and the elimination process goes something like this. Car 16, Nipper Lacey with a motor. Car 54, Bob Tunks, sadly with an outside rear tyre. Max Dumsney with a crash off turn 3. Gary Rush with a crash and roll on the same one. The same turn, that's turn 3. Car 10, Tony Noski with a crash into the wall off turn number 1. And I see that Wayne Bunker's returned to the race. Now, as I mentioned, Bunker did a motor change today in car 27 from South Australia, and has seemingly to me been off the pace this evening. Now, Bob Tunks also is on the infield. He's asking permission through the steward to Gary Winterbottom. Now, Jeff Hogden is in radio control with Gary Winterbottom down on the start-finish line. And he will, in fact, obviously it's a no for Bob. Bob's walking away very dejected. And you'll see him in the corner of the screen as he goes away there. We're following the field round. The field seems set. I will call it like this. Randy Kinser off 1, Bill Barrows off 2, Ian Bradford off 3, Ian Lewis off 4, Bob Blacklaw off 5, Gil Cameron off 6, George Tatnell off 7, Farr off 8, Aylesbury off 9, and the back 2 made up of Agars and Bunker. And here's the restart with 11 laps remaining in the inaugural running of the Whitfield Australian Sprint Car Masters. Picture telling 1,000 words. Tatnell trying to get it down, trying to find some drive. What have they done with the Beretta car this time? I don't know, but it's not happening. Lewis slowing a little in the Hall car as this man leads them away by about 10 car lengths. But the man who's got a chance to get to him is South Australia's own Billy Barrows. Barrows in second place. Here he goes now on turn number 2 down the back chute, and he's driving the race of his life, trying to run down this American. And believe me, at this stage, he looks like he could be doing it. Reeling him in slowly. He has 8 laps to do it. We'll watch this guy, and we'll also watch the 3rd place get a car, 77 young Ian Bradford from Western Australia. The leader past me now. He's still in 1st place. Tatnell way back in the field, running about 5th spot at the moment, but picking up the pace maybe a little bit. The stoppage may have assisted him. Kinser, Barrows, Bradford, Cameron, Tatnell, Farr. Behind that is Blacklaw. Lewis slipping right back 2 places behind them. The pace on. It's a cracker. Billy Barrows still about the same distance behind car 2, Kinser. Having a little trouble on the turns, looking for a line, but Billy Barrows, true to his form, will not back off. Barrows digging the back of that car in, looking for drive. The car manufactured in Victoria at the factory of OTR, Oval Track Racing, designed and built in Australia, and we're very proud of this manufacturer. Down the back chute, Zeke Agars. Brilliant last night, off the pace in this race, and right behind him, looming up, is the race leader, car 2, in Randy Kinser. Agars does the right thing, goes up. Placing still unchanged. Car 2, Lewis having trouble.
going off the pace. Something not quite right with the brand new Hoare Brothers car. First night out of racing. We'll pick up the places here. There's the race. It's being won now. The checkered flag coming down, and it's going to go to Randy Kinzer. It's Kinzer there. We've got a sensation on the start-finish line. Gil Cameron. What more do you need? Randy Kinzer's taken out the race. We're watching one thing in the corner of the eye. The checkered flag coming down to Randy Kinzer. Steve Kinzer's young brother taking out the inaugural running of the Winfield Sprintcar Masters. Second place, Billy Barrows. Third place, and take nothing away from young Ian Bradford from Western Australia. And I think it was George Tatnall coming up into fourth position. Tatnall not happy if we could pick him up down in the start-finish line. Let's pick up Tatnall on the start-finish line. He is absolutely fuming. Tatnall waving and pointing and roaring. He is just shaking his head in disgust. Talking to John Hughes. This is a family show. We won't be putting that to air. You can bet on it. But there's the winner on your screen. A picture telling 1,000 words. A sensation right on the last 2 laps. A crash in the main straight. Cameron looking the wrong way. Nearly bringing the field down. But take nothing away from this brilliant young American all-star racer, Randy Kinzer, because you've got to believe it. He led it post to post. 30 big laps of Winfield Speedway Park to take out the inaugural running, the 1985-86 running of the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters, and our congratulations go to him. Second place getter, Billy Barrows, car 6 from South Australia. The third place from Western Australia, young Bonds, young Ian Bradford. In car 77, the car loaned to him by Sid Moore, and it's really super stuff. So well, that's what happens. That's the accumulation of 2 great nights racing for this magnificent series, the Australian Winfield Sprint Car Masters. And there they are. The victor on the left of your screen at the moment, Randy Kinzer from the United States of America. Beside him, certainly not disgraced, is Bill Barrows from South Australia. Third place getter there also with him is none other than young Ian Bradford from Western Australia. So right across the board, USA, South Australia and Western Australia in that particular order, taking a lap of honour on the Scotch Petroleum mobile platform, and that magnificent big Winfield trophy. The multimedia here tonight to witness this magnificent event, and it's certainly been a memorable one. Unlucky for 2 people in particular, for Gary Rush having that happening over on turn 3, and also Max Dumsney coming to grief on the same point, and of course it'll all be diagnosed after the racing this evening. We've got the B main coming your way very shortly, and I hope you stay with us and sit back and enjoy the final race tonight from Winfield Speedway Park. Last race of the series this evening. Goodness gracious, we're going to need 3 days to lay down after this magnificent meeting. The Australian Winfield Sprint Car Masters. This has been the series over 2 magnificent nights of racing here at Winfield Speedway Park, Adelaide. 15 laps, a rolling start, the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters semi-main. This is for all the guys that didn't make it through, and they're allowed to go out and strut their stuff. And of course a nice little purse on the end of the race. All cars have been started. We're waiting for them to take up their positions. And it looks as if Darryl Downing in car 97 could be off the pole, and car 97 from South Australia, we should go on to tell you, of course. Outside of him, car 33, the Bardell car, Sprint Auto Parts of Chas Caloundro. Jeff Harris looks like he's going off 3 in the number 2 Gambler from South Australia. And coming around the outside to take up position number... No, he's not. We're still waiting for position 4. Possibly Tom Tomlinson, or possibly car 5 Alan Gates, but he doesn't appear to be starting. They're having trouble with him around on turn 1. Magnificent weather conditions, perfect track conditions, a superb crowd, and great racing. What more could you want
And this seems to be, well, a matter of habit now at Winfield Speedway Park. Races from all over the nation, for that matter, all over the Speedway world, coming here for a great season for 1985-86. I'm a year behind myself. Those start. Talked a little longer then because Jeff Hogman was not giving him a look in, walking away from the start-finish line as they come around the bend. Very keen, these guys, and let me tell you that this race to them is just as important as the race you've just seen, the A-Main Winfield Masters. Racing this time, let's see who gets the jump. It looks like Caloundro into turn number 1. Downing tries to go with him in the 97 car. They're trying to do a little bicycling around the bottom turn. Car 55, Bill Porter, Tommy Tomlinson in the Channel 10 pizza car. He's up there with them too, running it now. Whoa, position 6. We've got cars going everywhere, but there's the leader. It's a 33 car of Caloundro. He's looking good in the OTR as he goes into turn number 3. Young man in a hurry from Raka, and he does a damn good job running this Bardell-sponsored OTR 500 horsepower sprint car as he dives into turn 3. It's Caloundro showing a clean pair of heels to Darryl Downing in the Cacciamaggio 97 car. In third place from Victoria, car 37, David Anderson. And behind them, car 44, also from the same state, with John Deutsch. Let me tell you about John Deutsch, Jelly. Well, we've got a crash in the back straight. A crash, it looks like Dave Farrell, car number 16, rolled right along the Winfield side. It was a barrel roll, but let me tell you, a very, if I can use the term, soft roll. It just virtually spiraled along the top of the fence. We'll see if he's okay. It's car 16, and I'm telling you at this stage, it is Dave Farrell. Crash crew in attendance, ambulance also there for the obvious reasons. Fire crew, he's out the car. Let's see if he's all right. Yes, he is. Oh, boy, he'd be nice and disappointed. Dave Farrell launched it off the SA Bike Sales sign, run it along the top of the Winfield sign, and come down to the terra firma about 2 metres past that. So it's certainly action aplenty with 12 laps remaining, and there's the car back on its wheels. Farrell there with his helmet still on. Arm restraints, you can see there, bound round both arms. Now that is to prevent, in such an incident like this, his arms being thrown about in such a manner that they can be brought underneath the roll cage, or between the roll cage and the wing, or the ground for that matter, and the obvious results would be forthcoming. So that's the idea with arm restraints. Oh, have a look at the wing on top of it. It looks like Grandma Duck's car after you threw it over a cliff. It's very, very crumpled. But it looks like the wing has in fact absorbed the complete roll. The car is quite pushable and hasn't even sustained a flat tyre. You can get an appreciation of the difference in tyres. We've got something exclusive this weekend. For those of you who are a little technically minded, many, many years ago, Firestone brought out a famous pattern that they carried on for over a decade. This tyre was suitable for wet weather road racing or dirt racing. That a similar pattern has now been adapted by the American Hoosier company, and they're running those tyres 8 inches wide on the front offside of the car. The front offside of the vehicle, they're 8 inches wide, so that gives you a fair idea how wide these massive back rubber donuts are that they run. And let me tell you, somewhere around about the 12-pound mark to give them this massive adhesion. They also have on most of them a bead locker, and that in fact stops the wheels spinning on the tyre. That's the rim spinning on the tyre, and naturally would cause a flat tyre. They're physically bolted to the rim. You can see a prime example on the 97 car, all those nuts around the back outside rear wheel, and once that official leans over it, you can see it's some 20 plus inches wide. Car's being attended to, car 25, Greg Flaherty. Now you'll notice a big round foam rubber obstacle sitting on top of the tyre there. That fits inside the outside rear, and what that in fact does is prevents mud getting in there. Now it might not sound important, but on a big long race such as 20 laps or more, there could be anything up to 3 or 4 pound of mud accumulated and will throw the tyre completely out of balance, or the wheel I should say. So this big slab of foam rubber, which you'll see possibly replaced in a minute on this car, is actually inserted on the inside of the rim. Now we'll see that the particular pit crew man is changing pressure, dropping pressure off on this Flarty OTR. He's dropping pressure back. Obviously they want more bite, and they're trying to get it by doing this. Perhaps the gearing's a little wrong, and he's trying to change the gearing of the car, in fact, by performing this particular act. Still attending now. He's got the big round foam rubber donut in his hand, and he's pushing it, as you see clearly on your screen, onto the inside of the wheel. That's to prevent, as I said, mud going in there and throwing that complete car out of kilter, stopping vibration in the rear end, and that's Greg Flarty's car number 25 from South Australia being pushed away. Should be Chaz Caloundro to lead him away. Sprint cars, incidentally, retail at around about $50,000 in real money. Engines, anything in excess of 20 grand, and to set up the rest, well, you've got to believe it. Then you've got to go racing. You've got to have a lot of spares in respect to tyres and rims. An outside rim and rear tyre. Now, an outside rear rim and tyre, in real money from the suppliers in Australia, cost into the vicinity of $750 to $800 a piece. So it's certainly not a cheap sport. Looking good for a restart with 12 laps to go. This is the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters semi-main. Caloundro leading away. We've got it coming together down the bottom turn. Barry Porter up on the infield. There's the man who was changing his tyre pressure, Greg Flarty, known to most of you through his exploits in drag racing. He comes and does it on the bull ring in fine style in one of the country's best cars, the OTR. Caloundro skipping away. Bill Porter having all sorts of trouble with car 55. He just can't get it right. Here's the leading bunch. Let's pick the leader up as he goes around the back straight. It's car 33, the Bartle car of Chaz Caloundro. Second place, also from that state, South Australia 97, Darryl Downing in the Cadjamaggio brick car. Behind them, the two Victorians. David Anderson in 37, followed by John Deutsch in 44. Back in fifth spot is car number 2 from South Australia, Jeff Harris. But coming right up behind him and looming in on the business is car 25, Greg Flarty. He was running backwards before, but maybe a change in tyre pressure is making all the difference, because he is in fact challenging car 2 for that position. The leader on screen again. If anything, Downing is reeling in. Oh, there's a go in front of him. A bit of drama. There's a go with the back markers. Here's a go between the leader and the second place getter. Bill Porter's in the way of a lot of them, but it looks like luck's on Caloundro's side. Chaz Caloundro took a gamble, threw the coin in the air, decided to stay low line, and it paid off. He got about 4 car lengths on Downing. Downing closing again on turn 3. Downing a little quicker through the corners. And you've got to believe it, the G-Forces have been telling their tales with 5 laps remaining. These guys have been getting tired. They do have power steering, but believe me, they're getting knocked about at a great rate of knots. The muscles would be absolutely aching by now. They have been looking for the sanctuary of that white flag of Jack Ogden, knowing there'll be one to go, and Chaz Caloundro won't be able to see that quick enough. Can he hang on? Who knows? But if there's going to be a change in this race, I believe at this stage in time it'll be between the first and second places. Somebody's engine's off. It's Downing's. Downing's engine's off. Oh, what rotten, wicked luck. This guy with 3 to go, his engine's off. He took Anderson to the infield in 37. We've got race placings changing. Not for the leader, though. He's sweet leading. We've got Anderson on the infield. We've got Downing out of it. We've got Porter in the middle of it. We've got the 44 car. But make no mistake, here's the sight that we want our leader would be really aching for. And it's 1 lap to go for car 33.
will wave him on as he goes down the back chute. It's car 33 of Jas Calandro. He's into turn 3. There's the checkered flag get repaired. He's almost up behind Tommy Tomlinson with the checkered flag and a well-deserved race to Jas Calandro. The Bartle car takes victory in the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters semi-main in second place. And a surprise even to him. I will call it a Dave Anderson in 33. The 44 car of John Doidge through into third place. Perhaps Flardy up into fourth. And behind them, possibly car 2 from South Australia, Jeff Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, if that's not superb action, if this hasn't been a magnificent two-night series of racing, congratulations to MJS. Congratulations sincerely to Winfield Speedway Park. And thank you, Winfield, for allowing the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Masters to take a place in Speedway history.